Hey everyone, Mr. Sujano here. In today's video, we're checking out Launchbox, a front end for your emulators on PC. Let's get started. Alright, to kick things off, there's both a paid and a free version of Launchbox. In this video, we're checking out the free version. In a nutshell, Launchbox is a front end for your emulator. So what it does is it focuses on organizing and making your experience a heck of a lot better. With different layouts and customization options, the whole purpose of Launchbox is to be your one-stop shop for pretty much everything retro gaming. Right now, this is only available for Windows. If you have a Mac or an Android device, you're out of luck. To pick up Launchbox, head over to launchbox-app.com. Once you're on the Launchbox page, head over to the big purple button that says download. Click on that, it'll bring you to a brand new page. From here, enter your email and then click on the big purple button again. Launchbox will then send you a download link that you can click on and download the program. It's roughly 200 megabytes in size. Now, the installation of this is a little archaic and it's not the easiest. You cannot install this directly into your program files folder because it won't work correctly. I recommend setting up a separate folder on your desktop called Launchbox and installing it there. During the installation, a few additional things may need to be installed, and that's absolutely fine. Installation may be quick and it may also take quite a bit of time depending on your computer, so just be patient. Now, when you first open up Launchbox, you have a few different options to import your games. If you're importing Steam or Epic games, it's relatively straightforward. If you're importing ROMs, this is where you have to be a little bit more specific. If your ROMs are neatly organized in a folder with a bunch of different subfolders per system, this setup is pretty easy. If you have to hunt around your system for ROMs located in random files, this will be incredibly difficult. What I recommend doing is putting all of your ROMs together in one folder or a series of folders all in one directory. From here, I'm going to import my Nintendo 64 ROMs. I have them all in one single folder called Nintendo 64. If I wanted to import more folders here, the installer's a little messed up, but if you highlight this, you can kind of see what each option is. So this one says add folder and this one says add files. I have to move the mouse on and off of it in order for it to show up. But anyways, if you wanted to add more folders, you can. Once I hit next, it asks me what platform I'm importing games for. So from the list, I'll scroll down to Nintendo 64 and select it. Next, it asks me to choose an emulator. And if you take a look from the list, there is nothing populating. From here, I'll have to add one. When I click add, it pre-populates one called Project 64, which actually isn't a bad emulator. You can scroll down the list and import the exact emulator you're looking for. And also, for the purposes of this video, I deleted Project 64 off my computer, so I can click this link here and re-download it. Once Project 64 has finished installing, if you want to use Project 64, click the Browse button and select the program where you installed it. Now, if you want to use RetroArch instead of Project 64, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure you have RetroArch installed and up and running. What you'll need to do is download the proper core. To do that, I've got RetroArch up and running here. I'm going to go to load core. Then I'm going to go to download a core. From here, I'm going to select a Nintendo 64 core. So for this video, I'm going to select Mupen 64 Plus-Next. Once I've downloaded the core, I'm headed back to Launchbox here and I'll select RetroArch from the menu. From there, I'm going to select the emulator application path, which is where I installed RetroArch. Now I'm going to click OK. Now when it asks me which emulator I'd like to use, both Project 64 and RetroArch are available. So for this video, I'll just select RetroArch. Now I have three different options. I can either copy the files into the Launchbox folder, move them into the Launchbox folder, or use the files in their current location. If you're running low on hard drive space, I wouldn't recommend copying them. And if you want them to be in the same place, don't move them either. For this video, I'm just going to select move the files into the Launchbox game folder, just to make it easy. Next, it asks me if I want to download images from my games, and the answer is yes. Next, it asks if I want to download media from EmuMovies, and I don't have an EmuMovies account, so I'm just going to click next. From here, you can select custom options in order to import the games. For me, I'm just going to leave things on default. If you've done everything correctly so far, your games should be populated in this list. If they're not, go back and correct whatever needs to be correcting. Once they are populated here, go ahead and click Finish. Now, importing your games into Launchbox might take a bit of time depending on the size of your library, so just be patient here and eventually they'll show up. Once everything's done importing, you should see something fairly similar to this. Now, one thing I did notice is some of the artwork wasn't automatically downloaded, and I can manually download that if I feel like it, or I can just leave it as is. It's all up to your personal preferences, but the artwork and descriptions for most of these games should be automatically set up. Now, to fix this, I'm going to fix Duke Nukem 0 Hour, and if you can see, there is no box art. If I go to the top right hand corner of the screen, click on the pencil. Now from here, it will pull up all of the game information, or none of the game information. I find the easy way to fix this, depending on the game, is just to erase anything after the main game title. For example, 0 Hour. I'm going to erase that and just leave Duke Nukem. From here, I'll click Search for Metadata, and you can see two different games come up. Well, 0 Hour is right here, so all I have to do is click it and then I'm good to go. From here, I'm going to go to Media and Images, and from there, I'm going to click Download Media. This will download all of the artwork. Once it's done picking up that, I'm going to click OK, and then in the menu you can see everything is fixed. Now to play a game here, it's pretty simple and straightforward. I can right click on this and just select Play, and that will launch the game, or I can select Launch With and choose the specific emulator. Right now, Project 64 is set up, as well as RetroArch using the Mupen 64 core. If I select Project 64, it will boot up the game in Project 64 without any issues, and this is a big plus. But if I try this out in RetroArch, there might be an issue. If I right click and select Play, it is defaulted to RetroArch right away. And what happens is nothing, and that's because the wrong core is specified. If I go to the top of the page where it says Tools, and then I go click on Manage Emulators, from here I can correct it. I'll click on RetroArch, click Edit. From here, I want to go to associated platforms. For the Nintendo 64 system, it says Mupen 64 Plus Libretro, but that's not the core I have installed. And it does say missing core file, and that's because it's the wrong core. So from here, just right click on the core and highlight the proper core. So if I take a look at the different cores available here, I want Mupen 64 next. So I'll select the proper core, click OK, and that should fix my issues. From here, I can right click on the game again, select Play, and the game will load up without any issues. So if you are running into issues with RetroArch, just make sure the right core is selected. Now, if for some reason you need to access your ROMs file and you selected the Move ROMs into Launchbox, the ROMs will be located in the Games folder within your Launchbox folder. Now, in this menu, you have a few different options as well. For example, if I select Image Group and then I change it to carts, you'll see all of the games listed as an N64 cartridge. I can also change it to screenshots and have them show up that way. Now, everything I showed you today is absolutely free. This is the free version of Launchbox, but there is a paid version if you want to configure things even more. I'll be doing a video on the paid version in the future, but this is a taste of what the paid version entails: a ton of customizability. The paid version includes things like color themes, big box, as well as gamepad support within the main menu of Launchbox, custom fields and filters, and custom font sizing and spacing. Honestly, for a free front end for all of your emulation needs on PC, Launchbox is pretty good. It'll keep your ROMs nice and organized, it'll keep you away from the RetroArch interface if you don't like it, and on top of that, it's pretty simple to use. In the future, I will be doing a video on the paid version of Launchbox and determining whether or not I think it's worth it. But anyways, that is all I've got for today. Let me know your thoughts on the free version of Launchbox in the comments below. If you like this video, leave a like. If you didn't like this video, leave a like. Hit that subscribe button, check out my other videos. Thank you everyone, take care.